Uh, the culture for tax compliance in Ghana is abysmally low. Various reasons could account for this, but the average person doesn't want to pay tax, and which is quite disturbing because we want everything for ourselves: good roads, hospitals, everything that is good for life. We need all of that for ourselves, and but we cannot also continue to borrow money to do all that for ourselves, because when we borrow money, we will have to pay, and we will pay with tax money. So ultimately, we come back to where we started, that we need tax to be able to develop. And so the culture is not good. Over the years, from if I remember as far back after the economic recovery program in this country, the attitude towards payment of tax has not been, the various administrations have come and encouraged and tried to encourage tax payment, but it's not been too good.
But why is it not too good? What is wrong with the culture?
The first and foremost, people just want to remain outside the tax bracket. In other words, the tax net. They don't want to come because they feel that, okay, when they come into the tax net, then it seems like not everybody is paying. For whatever reason, that what makes them feel that not everybody is paying is another thing altogether. But people just don't want to pay tax.
Yeah, but should it be a choice as to whether I want to be part of the tax bracket or not?
No choice at all. It's
exactly.
Not. Yeah. So it is. Tax is the creation of law, and the law is very clear as to who the taxpayer should be, what sort of income should be taxed, what sort of expenditure should be taxed. Everything is very clear in the law. People buy water, maybe a bottle of water, they would have paid tax without noticing that they have paid some tax. So it's fairly simple to manage with the indirect taxes because it's more of expenditure tax, because you go and buy the thing and nobody asks you, gives you a bill for the tax separately. But when it comes to income tax, that's where the problem is, because apart from employees whose taxes are exacted right from the time of payment by their employers, of course, the law has engaged or has actually appointed employees to be withholding agents.
Yes.
So they'll take the tax from the employees. And apart from employees, which is so easy to tax, the other taxes like business tax, because we have three sources of income which are subject to tax. Tax from the income from business, investments, and employment. And employment is very easy to manage. But when it comes to business and business, to looking at the content of what constitutes business, you look at profession, where the lawyers and accountants, and you see you have profession. Business is part of profession. Then we have vocation, and you can see that the tailors, the mechanics, and all of those people also fall in that category. So trade, the buy and sell group of people, or commercial people who are into commercial activity or buying and selling. This is the component of the of people who actually are required to pay tax, business income tax.
Exactly.
Okay, now dealing with these three group of people. Even though the professionals, of course, the profession where the lawyers and the accountants, doctors, etc., come from, DS is very up there because of the fact that they are into specialized area of their career. When it comes to when it comes to tailors and the rest, the artisans, that one too, there are special problems in taxing them.
The president and the attorney general are both talking about these professionals, 60,000 of them who are not paying.
And Winston asked the question about should it be a choice?
It's not.
It shouldn't be a choice. But there must be something about how we implement taxation policy in Ghana that makes some people able to treat it as a choice. What is it? What's the problem with our implementation of taxation policy that allows some people to choose whether or not to pay?
At the bottom of all this is enforcement of the penalty regime. The enforcement of the penalty regime. A few weeks ago, when the IGP came into office, the new IGP came to office, you can see his body language. He's done a few things quickly, and it looks like people are getting to sit up. taxation without enforcement cannot work. It has to work. Whether you are a lawyer, and the tax law, when it gives some kind of incentive, it identifies the areas that it wants to incentivize. So if the incentive is not available to you, there's no point taking advantage of any incentive as far as the tax law is concerned. It's very clear in the law that people are supposed to comply with the law. And when they fail to do that, then the GRA will have to put itself together and get hold of them.
But another question also
yes.
is, how do you know they are not complying? Do we have what it takes to know that this person has not complied with the law?
It's possible to know. First and foremost, you know that every business, like I mentioned, profession, vocation, or whatever, they need to register, first of all, at the Registrar General's Department.
Exactly.
At the point of registration, the person identifies themselves, the persons identify themselves, and they are given a tax identification number, which is now being replaced by the Ghana card. So from there, it's possible to pick up people who have registered to do business.
But how do you know his earnings?
Okay, so then the person under the law requires that such a person should actually walk to the GRA and register, providing additional information at the GRA, and a GRA which is very nearby his or her office. Okay, so then from there, then they begin to then comply with the law, as in filing of returns and filing of documents for GRA.
If I do not walk to the nearest GRA office,
so you remain outside the bracket.
If I do not file my returns,
then GRA has nothing to base the assessment on.
Great. So the question is, are these not the challenges we are faced with? Clearly, because there should be a way of having everybody in. So every payment that is made in this country should be traced in such a way that I can know that you have been giving this amount of money, you have been giving that amount of money. And so in actually filing your tax, then it gets to, the other aspect of it, but not you deciding not to show up at all.